with some news and notes from around the NFL. I want to start with Chicago. We saw Mitch Trubisky, Bears quarterback, go down with a dislocated shoulder on his non-throwing arm, not expected to need surgery, not expected to play this Sunday in London either. From what you're gauging from the team, how do they feel about turning it over to Chase Daniel?
They feel fine about turning it over to Chase Daniel. I was at this game. I covered this game for ESPN, and after the game, I talked to a lot of the players. They said, look, there was no difference in the offense when he goes in. Chase Daniel knows this Bears offense like the back of his hand. He's been with Matt Nagy for years. He was with him in Kansas City. They believe they can run all kinds of different pass plays with him that maybe they couldn't even run with Trubisky the way he was struggling.
It's been 5 minutes, so what's the latest with Antonio Brown and the potential grievances? Where are we at with him?
Adam Schefter reported Sunday there could be as many as 9 potential grievances. There was a conference call with the NFLPA yesterday trying to sort out which of those they're going to pursue, which they might not. Grievances against the Patriots, grievances against the Raiders, signing bonus money, salary. There's a lot still to be sorted out in terms of money that he's going to pursue and try and get back. We should know more today or tomorrow.
Some might say there could be some grievances in Washington as well. What's the latest with what's happening with their quarterback situation? Dwayne Haskins is in. Is Case Keenum? What's happening?
They didn't want to put Haskins in. Jay Gruden, the head coach, said they did it because Case Keenum had a foot injury. Colt McCoy was inactive for the game, but he's a factor in all this. He could end up being their starting quarterback on Sunday. A lot of different ways this could still go. Obviously, it's a mess. They have other issues besides quarterback, but they do not believe that Dwayne Haskins is ready to play in the NFL right now. He didn't look like he was when he went in the game against the Giants, and so don't be surprised if Colt McCoy is healthy enough to do it if they go from Keenum to McCoy before they ultimately turn to Dwayne Haskins.
So essentially, Greedy, it sounds like they have absolutely no idea what they're doing in the nation's capital.
Yeah, and which would be consistent with the last 20 years in the nation's capital as far as football is concerned. But here's the thing. Last night, Monday Night Countdown, I'm sitting there, I'm watching, getting ready to watch the football game, and Louis Riddick had some extremely interesting comments on this situation. And when Louis talks, we listen.
Dwayne Haskins going into that game was really one of the worst decisions I've seen so far this year as far as how people are handling young quarterbacks. All we have heard from the Washington Redskins was that he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. Why would you put him in there under any circumstance?
Hey, let's answer that. Why would you?
It reeks of an agenda. You've heard all along, going all the way back to the draft, about how there was dissension, about front office wanted one guy, coaching staff wanted another guy, and that kind of thing right off the bat. You think Dwayne Haskins doesn't hear that? You think he feels totally supported in this entire process? You just right now drafted another franchise quarterback, and he's being set up to fail. He should have never went in that football game last night.
So that's Louis Riddick, and that's very similar to the stuff I was saying here, and others have seen this going on here. And more young quarterbacks are ruined than developed in pro football, and this is how it happens. Did Dwayne Haskins look to you like he was ready to play in an NFL game?
Not at all. And we knew that, right? We knew that from what they had said.
And if we knew it, then the coaches know.
And the most telling thing to me of what Louis said was at the end when he said, set up to fail. And that was an obvious thing. Listen, I've been a backup quarterback, right? And so I've been a part of never getting reps as a starter during the week when you're not going to get any time. There's no chance you're going to go play football because the starter only gets so many reps. And then I've been the guy who, hey, our starter's either banged up or we're not playing really well and there's the chance you might play. And I've had coaches every single time. You're going to get 2 reps in this period. You're going to get 3 reps in this period. You're going to get 4 reps in this period. Dwayne Haskins did not get any practice reps with the Washington Redskins starters. That is setting up a young quarterback to fail. And at the end of the day, it is coaching malpractice in Washington.
I agree that it's coaching malpractice, but they let the cat out of the bag. Gee, what did we talk about with the Redskins when they drafted Haskins?
The coaches didn't want him, and the owner did.
So there you go. Like we all, now that's playing out in front of everybody. It's no secret any longer, watching the Redskins, that Snyder and Gruden are on the same page. And it's been that way there. Like this conversation about the Washington Redskins has continued to happen. And look, for as abysmal as Gruden has been in this job, I don't know if anybody can come have success if they don't let control of the reins. I was in the locker room. I was on a team when the perception was the owner is running everything. Jerry Jones is telling the coach what to do. He's telling players what to do. He's deciding what players you're getting. That's the issue. When we look at Dwayne Haskins, and I thought he should start from the beginning of the season, but you prepare him to start from the beginning of the season. This situation was due in Washington. This is a process of the front office and the coaching staff, and Dwayne Haskins just being a piece of that dysfunction that they want to throw out there to see if this can make us look better. This has nothing to do with Dwayne Haskins.
I mean, could you imagine Dwayne Haskins standing there and going, hey, you have to go and play now. And you go, I've never been in the huddle with these guys. I've never thrown in competitive situations to these guys. These guys have never felt my energy in our huddle and whatnot. That is an example of a coach going, I don't really care what the results are here. You go get fed to the wolves because I know what my fate is.
Yeah, it's also potentially a coach saying to his owner through his actions, are you going to insist I put this guy out on the field?
Yeah.
Now, take a look at it. See how this works. Those are competing agendas. It has zero chance to succeed. Meanwhile, let's get up and go. 3 weeks after being diagnosed with mono, Jets quarterback Sam Darnold was only cleared for non-contact drills yesterday, putting his status for Sunday's game against the Eagles in question. Darnold sounds ready to risk further injury to get back out there.
I mean, it's a low percentage anyways, if my spleen were to rupture, and, that's a whole nother thing that I don't want to get into. It's a low percentage anyways, and I want to get back out there, and it means that much to me. I want to play, and to be honest, I miss the game, and, it sucks. That feeling of sitting on the couch and watching my teammates go out there and play, and it's not a good feeling to not have anything to do with those games. And I want to get back out there as soon as possible. And, whenever that is, whenever I'm cleared to play by the doctors, I'm going to go out there and give it my all.
Dan Graziano, what can you fill in here?
There's the spleen. They're not going to clear him for contact until that spleen is back to normal size, because enlarged spleen, increased risk of rupture. Darnold said at one point yesterday, my spleen's going to do what it's going to do. Which may be the first time in NFL history that's ever been said. But the fact of the matter is, until that thing is back to where it should be, they are not going to put him on a football field and expose him to potentially life-threatening risk.
On that note, to baseball we go. Brad Ausmus is out as Angels manager after just one season with the team, finished with 90 losses this year. Joe Madden, who was just let go by the Cubs, is overwhelmingly expected to become the next